Nice hot sunny day here in Fairfax, Virginia. Mr. Burns, looking at some of the tough ones from the economics quiz number 2 that was taken here at the end of the economics unit, getting ready for your unit test. And there were some questions that were a little challenging, to say the least. 10 questions we're going to look at here. Let's start with number 2. Number 2 says, it's got a little icon there. New accounts earn 5% interest for a year, right? So 5% interest. So if you open an account and put it in the bank, you can earn 5% interest in a year. Okay? You open an account, you put your money in there, you save money. B, encouraging saving money. Okay, only 50% of you got that right. This is, if you're opening an account, the bank's not loaning you money, right? The bank's not really making a profit on money that you put in there and earn interest on. And I don't see anything involving savings bonds. So this one, I mean, you see the word accounts, you're gaining interest. It should have been encouraging you to save money. Okay. Number 4, very disappointing. This one was not a very difficult question. Lower the cost of production. Okay, so how do we make it more cheaper to produce goods and services? Well, hiring more workers is not going to make it cheaper. Using more resources is not going to make it cheaper. And lowering the price has nothing to do with making the goods. It has to do with selling. So it has to be creating new technologies. If you create a new technology, it makes things more efficient. It makes things faster. So therefore, it makes it cheaper in the long run. 5 and 6 were very good. Number 7 was a little disappointing. I know environmental protection agencies on there that might have thrown some of you off with regulating business, but think about it. If you own a factory and the EPA sets a limit on how much you can put into the atmosphere, that's regulating business. Okay? As our Federal Communications Commission, which is going to regulate anything involving the media, and Federal Trade Commission, which is going to involve anything involving interstate trade. Okay, so A was the best answer there. Number 9, 8 was good. Number 9 was pretty borderline, but if a plastic company forms a monopoly by cutting costs and gaining control of the entire market, the government might intervene because they want to preserve competition. They want to make sure that other businesses have a chance to start and to operate in that industry. That one wasn't too bad. Number 10, on the other hand, should have been a rather simple question, but a lot of you picked some interesting answer choices there. So, national defense is the military, army, the police, and the postal service. These are all things that are operated and owned by the government, and our tax money is what pays for these things. So these are B, public goods provided by the government. Public means using tax money and everyone benefits from them. Okay? A, they're not businesses, right? C, everyone gets them, not just people who can't afford them. And D, last time I checked, if you're not a citizen of the United States, you still get protection by the police. You can still use the postal service even if you're not a citizen. Okay. Number 12 was... I just got a bad taste in my mouth, I'm sorry. Alright, which is the best action the government can take to increase the amount of funds available for businesses? So if they want business to have more money, that means they have to pay less taxes. So lower the taxes, then business has more money, they're paying less taxes. Therefore, they have more money to invest into their business or to pay their workers. Okay. Alright, let's look at 14. Oh, God. Alright, that was bad. Okay, 60% got this one right. When government borrows money, if the government takes more money that's available, that means there's less money for everyone else. So B, less money for businesses to borrow and individuals. The government's borrowing more. It's just like a scale, right? If the government takes more, the businesses have less. All right. This was straight out of the Essential Knowledge. 16th Amendment provides that the federal government can tax incomes. It's just, you just got to know it. It's just one of those, got to know it. All right. 18 and 19. 16 was pretty good. 17 was pretty good. You guys got the Fed, pretty decent. 18 wasn't that good, though. Okay. If you own property, if you own a car, you sign something saying you own it. It's called a mortgage if you own a house, right? You sign your contract when you own a car. It could be a lease if you lease it. These are contracts that are protected by the force of the law. If you break the contract, then the government can seize your materials. However, you have the right to private ownership, right? So as long as you are doing and following the laws and doing what you're supposed to do, and you're honoring the contract, then the government's going to leave you alone. Okay? Private ownership, written in the United States Constitution. It's more of we're talking about economics here. So we're talking from an economics perspective, not a government perspective. All right, 19. Okay, 19 is borderline. Most of you got that federal agencies are going to establish guidelines for public health and safety. In other words, minimum safety requirements, minimum health requirements, offering, needing a livable wage and better working conditions and so on. The distractors there, A and B, did not make as much sense as B did. All right. Okay. Hopefully you do better on the test. Hopefully you review and watch this video and this helped you out. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. Quizlet sets are on Blackboard.